So today we're at Brazos Ridge up in northern New Mexico, close to the border of with Colorado, and we're gonna try backpacking into Cruces Basin Wilderness, and I'm gonna try and traverse the wilderness from the western boundary to the eastern boundary. So here at Brazos Ridge is the western boundary. It's also late in the day. We kind of got a late start. We didn't really want to pack last night, so we packed this morning and then got out on the road, and it took us 4.5+ hours to get here. Just mostly because of the dirt road driving takes a long time. This is a very remote area of New Mexico, but it's an area that we've wanted to come back and check out, and so now we're getting ready to traverse it. So one of the things that makes this wilderness unique is that it's a bowl, so you're hiking downhill to get into it, which is different than most of the wilderness areas that usually are mountainous. So to go into the wilderness area, you're often hiking uphill in most other wilderness areas. Like when we did our San Pedro Parks trip, we had to hike up onto a mountain, and because the wilderness area was at the top of the mountains. Here it's a big bowl, so we're hiking down into the bowl now, and then to get out we're gonna have to hike up the bowl to get on out and head back to the Brazos Ridge. So that makes this trip a little bit more unique than a lot of other wilderness areas. It's a little porcupine skin. Another unique thing about this wilderness area is that it doesn't really have any marked trails. I mean, there's one on the south entrance that's kind of like a trail that we've taken in before, but at least the traversing from west to east like we are, there's no trails, so we're just kind of bushwhacking it. But this area has a lot of meadows, not completely dissimilar from San Pedro Parks wilderness, but it's definitely higher, colder, and maybe more wet. Although you couldn't tell right now because everything looks a little dry. But it did rain here on Wednesday, so a couple nights ago. We just got cliffed out. This has proven to be pretty slow going. We're bushwhacking down this hillside here, trying to get to Beaver Creek. It looks like we're only about 300 feet out from Beaver Creek, but it sounds like we got a casualty, and it looks like we got more of this stuff to deal with, just bushwhacking down to the creek. So we finally got to Beaver Creek, and it's running a little low. And so our idea is to cross the creek and go on the other side, and then head downstream until there's a place that we want to camp. And then we'll set up camp and eat some food and open our bottle of wine. So we found camp for the night right next to the creek. Found a little flat spot that didn't have too much tall grass in it, and so this is where we're gonna basically be camping at. So tonight, Yade and I have yellow curry with chicken and rice, freeze dried, and it's actually not too bad. It doesn't look too shabby at least. It looks like curry with chicken, and actually I know this from our last trip, this is probably my favorite dehydrated meal. So
we have it and gravy accompanied with a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, and then finished off with some dark chocolate covered almonds. And the boys tonight are having some pasta Roma.
Pasta Roma. So we eat well out here.
Pasta with cheese and red sauce.
Cheers. Oh my God, look at that. It's totally a snake that caught a fish.
Oh! Oh! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
still alive, poor fish. The fish is still alive, gosh. And then we just grab it, take it from the snake and say, hey, I caught a fish with my hands. Can we kill it and eat it?
It's
She was. As much as I try. Well, right in there, there's a dead fish. Dead fish. I don't know if you can see it, but the fish is lying dead right next to that big stick. Now, it's dead, and I think the snake abandoned it. Maybe you can see it better here. Right there, see? There's the dead fish.
All right, day 2 of this Cruces Basin trip. So today we're all gonna hike a little further east down the canyon, and then the kids are gonna, and Yade are gonna turn back and head back to camp and just hang out and play. And I'm gonna continue into the canyon further, try and get to the other side of the wilderness area, and then I have to do the whole thing back. So this traverse is kind of gonna be a double traverse for me, where we're hiking all the way from west to east, all the way to the east end of the wilderness, and then I'm gonna turn around and come back, and we'll head out the same way we came, and out of Brazos Ridge. So we're just getting a little bit more water filtered up here, and then we're gonna head out. Looks like a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. Super bluebird, so it should be a good hike. And we're not expecting any weather, so should be a good time. Yesterday we did about 2 miles in, and then today it's looking like 4.8 miles to the eastern wilderness boundary, and so I'll have to do that and then back, so it'll be almost 10 miles round trip for me today. So it's gonna be a longish day, so let's get it started. All right, it's 5 minutes till 10, so we're heading off now.
Yeah, and probably the snake actually didn't abandon its food, because the snake is back there, and I think that's its home.
Yeah, I think it lives under that tree. So I don't want to jinx us, but today there's actually a trail. Looks like a cattle trail of some sort, but I've seen a couple footprints, so humans have used this too. So I'm hoping that this trail stays somewhat defined, because hiking off trails kind of brutal, at least for long distances.
Thank you, Atlas. It's very generous of you to offer. I feel like I need to join the hand holding. Ready, set, family crossing. I don't need your hand.
So we're heading into this canyon now. It's kind of near where we camped last time we went in here. Look at this campsite.
This is our campsite.
I know, this is our campsite from last time. It looks like it's been built up a little bit better though. Look how sweet it is. It's got little tables.
And I sprayed it with Raid because I didn't want to get close enough to it to kill it or touch it and put it out.
So we're gonna head into that canyon. I think that's where I'll leave the family and keep on keeping on, and they'll hang out and play. So I just left my family and I'm heading into the canyon solo to try and finish out this trip. It's starting to get a little bit more scenic here though. Check this out. Down into the belly of the beast. And I don't know where this trail goes or which side of the creek it's on, but I'll figure that out. Sketchy. Whew. Nice little cascade here. Heading down this canyon some more. Woo! Wow, that's cool. It sucks when this is the best way down. So I'm out of the waterfall area, at least for now, but I'm kind of in this like bushwhacky, I don't know, still pretty rough canyon, but I think it opens up here pretty soon. I'm just heading down this way. I wish I had the chops to set up third-party view shots of this, but it's just so rugged. It would take me freaking days just to set up the camera and go back and then get through this stuff. So I'm gonna try and avoid doing that for a little while, but suffice to say, I just came through all this. I think I'm out of the canyon now, which I'm grateful for, but I'm not looking forward to having to do that again. If I'm perfectly honest, I don't want to go back up that canyon, at least alone. I think it'd be super fun with someone else. It's just I'm very cognizant of the fact that I'm doing this alone, and there's definitely a few spots where, you know, the terrain's not terrible, but if you blew a move, you'd end up in the water between two boulders somewhere, and it'd be hard for someone to find you. And that's what is kind of getting to me. But it looks like things are on the up. It's starting to flatten out here. That's what it looks like, and that's what the topo maps indicate. So I'm hoping that I can cover some ground a little more quickly now that I'm out of the canyon. That's the canyon I came down through there. I think that big cliff is around where the waterfall was that I took a little quick skinny dip. So now I'm just trucking down this river on the side of this hill, and hopefully it doesn't get too bushwhacky again. But I'll take a little bit of bushwhacking over some of that really technical stuff right about now, just to, because I know I have to go back up through that. Some bear sign right there. Luckily I'm doing my bear calls, so hopefully I don't come across anything. All right, according to my GPS, I'm about a half a mile from the end of the wilderness area. So far, once you get out of the canyon, it's a little bushwhacky, but I did find this faint trail that I'm able to follow. So I'm able to pick up the pace a little bit. So hopefully this takes me right out of the wilderness. Well, I'm officially out of the wilderness, and I turned around and to come back just because I saw that cabin there. I don't know if that's private property. I kind of assumed that outside of the wilderness would be national forest, but just in case, I don't want to be trespassing on anyone's land, so I'm just gonna backtrack, get in the wilderness a bit, then fuel up, hydrate, and start making it back. All right, so I'm back in the wilderness. I'm gonna take a little break here, and so from camp to here today, it looks like 5.5 miles, and I went up 50 feet total and down 1,083 feet. So I got to do all that in reverse now. So probably it's going to be an 11-mile day or so, with about 1,000 feet of gain and 1,000 feet of descent, give or take, maybe 1,100. So the Cruces Basin Wilderness was designated as wilderness in 1980. So it's not super old, but it's not super new. The terrain isn't super rugged. You're high. I think that it goes from 8,700 feet at the lowest point to 10.3 or 10.5 at the upper end of the elevation in the wilderness. And so, you know, in the basin, you're seeing some alder next to the rivers, alder and rose hips, wild roses. And I actually saw some kind of cottonwood trees, it looked like. I don't know, I'll have to look them up. No, I think these are definitely cottonwoods. If I'm wrong, let me know. But then on the hillsides, there's a lot of grassy meadows, wild grasses, and then aspens, fir trees, and spruce. So, kind of typical northern New Mexico flora, I guess. But it sure is pretty, and we're getting the tail end of some wildflowers. But I think that the wildflower season probably was a few weeks ago. Feels a lot better on the way up than it did on the way down. I think it's because I'm in the sun now. All right, we got camp all packed up, and now we got to head up to up the ridge and back up to Brazos Ridge where our car is. We're gonna try and take a little bit different route, mostly because the way we came down in was not great. I wouldn't want to go up that way. So we're gonna try following this trail up Beaver Creek, kind of up this way, and hopefully gain the ridge at some point and make it back to our car. Just going up, up, up. We're starting to get out of the tree line though. There's a little bit of a nice view off that way. We're almost there, I think.
Almost to the flat stuff.
Just hiking up this gradual ridge. It's overall been easier hiking than on the way in. Don't want to jinx us, but we're about a half a mile from the car, and it's not as steep as it was. In fact, I think I may see the ridge where our car is poking through right there, through the trees up ahead of us, right up there. Just got a glimpse of the car poking through those trees there, just below the ridge.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
So we're almost there. So check this out. This looks like it's an aspen growing out of a pine tree's bark or something, or a spruce bark or something. Because look, the aspen bark.
It's an aspen, it just somehow got really wide.
I guess, but
Tracking.
the bark doesn't look like aspen bark,
It
does
looks like
it?
the parts of aspen when the aspen splits. Like, it definitely is aspen bark, but like...
I guess it is. It looks so strange.
The weirdest, and then the top of it.
It makes it look like ponderosa bark though.
Yeah, and look at that dead piece just spiraling out the top. That does not look like aspen.
Yeah.
It is.
See? It's not our car.
Just doing the final steps out of here.
Almost there. So,
Made it to the car. Good job, Atlas. Finish strong. Finish strong.
Oh, look at that. Woo! Good job, go!
Yeah. Hurry, give me knuckles, man.
Oh, man. Oh, bring it in. Look at that strong finish.
Oh, can we keep it strong? Keep it strong. Yeah. Brah. All right, good job.
Good job, fam.
Oh, you want a high five? Good job, guys. All right, so it took us about 2 hours and 22 minutes to get out. And it was about 2 miles of trekking to get out. And we did about 1,000 feet of ascent. So that was our day 3 of the Cruces Basin Wilderness. So we're officially out of it now. And so we're gonna head on down this 4-wheel drive road and try and get back to civilization.
So this is our drive out. 2 crappy options. A giant puddle, or it's like super potted road around the edge. And he's running into a log. There we are.
So I had one little casualty on this trip. Check this out. I don't know if you can see it or not, but my sole has split down the ball of my foot. Good times. Time for some new shoes.